What's up, everybody? We're back again. Another how-to replacement video on the Chrysler 200 here. This time we're going to be doing the primary and secondary thermostats on here. It's got some overheating issues. We've already did the upper radiator. So I'm just kind of going down the line here, honestly. She said she had somebody else do the thermostats, but I didn't do them, so I honestly don't trust them. I'm not saying I'm going to talk about the dude's work, but it is what it is. We're going to give it another shot and get up under here, show you how it's done. All right, well, apparently the petcock, which is the drain plug on the radiator, was seized up, frozen, like it's not draining. So if you ever run into that problem, what you can do there is if you follow this bottom hose here. See if I can get my hand in here. Y'all can see it. This hose right here. This is the thermostat housing. I'm on the side the motor here. You see where the filter box. You got to take this off. I recommend taking this snorkel off. It goes down there. Take that off, kind of get that out of the way, and then you'll be able to get down here to this. And see this hose, this bottom one, it runs there. You see it? There's one hose there. So you got the webbing on it. Follow that. Let's see if I can get y'all. See this right down there, and if you can see it, see where the webbing is. I'll try to give you a better picture once I get all this other stuff off. But that's the lower radiator hose. You can go and take that off and then let that go into your drain pan. Make sure you got some stuff to kind of, it's going to make a little bit of a mess. So, yeah, we'll get it off. All right, to get this breather box out of here, out of the way, it's got your air filter in it. You're going to need a 10mm socket, an 8mm socket. 8mm for the hose clamps, and 10mm to get this one bolt here out. Then you're going to want to take these clips off here. Just set that to the side, and you're going to, once you finally get back to the thermostat housing, take this clip off here. I'm using the wrench to point to. Sorry about the cars driving by. So you're also going to take off some of these hoses, the breather hose. You just want to kind of get all this right here out of the way, so you can get back to this right here. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Like I said, I'm always doing this by my phone, so it wasn't very tight. Wasn't very tight at all. Oh, and usually I just set mine like up here. It's kind of a good place to set it. Right. Undo that hose. Just gonna fold that back out of the way. I'm going to do all these little connections here. All you're doing here, see if I can get y'all to an angle here. Pushing that down, pull out. Push this down, and pull straight out. 8mm wrench here. Sorry, socket. I'd recommend going and getting this snorkel itself out of the way, because you got other, other hoses and stuff you're going to end up having to get to. So let's see if I can get down here. Turn my flashlight on. There it is. Not gonna be a whole lot of room. You may need to use a flathead if you got one. It's a flathead or an 8mm. So got little pop tabs here. This is part of the breather. Goes down into it. Just kind of sits in there. Let me pause real quick to get a flathead. Alright, if you got a little tab puller, that's even better. But I mean, I'm working with what I got at the moment. I'm not hunting for my tab puller. So, there you go. So I usually set in my little extra pieces up here. So now that will come out. You see it goes right down in there. Once again, I'm using two hands or one hand here to do this, so I may need to pause and then bring y'all back in to see the filter out, or see if I can't set this up for a better angle. All right. Let's get this snorkel off. That'll help. Flathead, get down here. Snorkel out of the way. There we go. Finally, breather removed. I knew they were gonna pop. That damn bolts. Alright. Now, here we are. Now you can kind of see the thermostat housing a little bit better. That right there. That's your upper radiator hose. And that's your lower radiator hose. You come in here, there's going to be two thermostats sitting on that engine block. So, I'm going to go and undo this clip here. Get the other one out the way. There we go. And we push in and then pull up. There you go. And that's it. Now, like I said, I may end up, instead of going back up in here, as I was trying to show y'all, it is kind of a tight fit in there. Make it a little easier on myself. I'm going to do that one right there. Going to undo. There's nothing in this. Y'all see I'm squeezing it. Nothing in that hose, so I ain't got to worry about it spilling out the top. All this should be drained out and settled down. If it's not, there'll be just a little bit left in there. It should be all right. All right. Pair of pliers here. See if I can get y'all angled in here where y'all can see that. All right. I think I got to where y'all can see this. I'm adjusting my wrench. My pliers. God dang, why I just cannot speak English. Once again, this may take a little convincing. Sorry if my arms and stuff are getting in the way. So, yep, that's it. It's gonna, which is all right. It's not gonna hurt anything. So keep that hose, whatever you do, that upper radiator hose that you took off, make sure you got it pointed upwards, kind of wedged in there to where it can't get off. Radiator hose off here. Put it back on here. Fine. Let's see that. There we go. Now that both the hoses are done, I'm gonna take this. This is the mount. So you got one bolt, two bolt. I can get y'all back there to see the others. There it is. 3 bolt. And then you got a hose back here. This core. Let's see if I can angle it to where we can get a good view on that while I'm undoing it. Oh, I'm sorry, you got the upper and lower. There, y'all, it's hot. I may have to pause this quick, go inside and cool off. So, be right back. Over here. There we go. Got that one right there. There we go. I'm just gonna break them loose right now. And this is a 10mm socket. 3-inch extension. I'm not sorry about all this. And like I said, y'all know already, I do all this, my filming, from a phone. So, work with what I got. That one, and there's one right in there. I don't know if y'all can see my finger. It's right off in there. Hidden enough in that light. Let's see if I can put this in here. Y'all can see. There we go. Right off in there. Right up under this. Like I said, you still got the hoses. The heater core back here, the upper and lower. There'll be another video up shortly, how to flush these, or flush the heater core itself by using these. I'll show you a little trick that I got with some old hose and some duct tape, and be able to flush this out real easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that one bolt that's in here, right there. And then I'm going to undo these clamps and try to get these off. Once again, some coolant's going to come out. Just be ready for that. And we'll get the rest of this out of here, so bear with me. Set that up. There we go. Alright. Forget, you got to take the old sensor out here too when you take this off, so got all those busted loose. Where my pliers go? Right there. I think that's about the best I'm gonna get it right now. I don't know if y'all can see, you got the one here, the one here. See if I can get my pliers in there. Yeah, let's get the top one first. It'll be easier. Check that. Push it back. Map. Stopper. Just leave the clamp on there. Sorry about that, y'all. Daughter walked out. Right. Make sure you remember which one of these hoses go where. Make sure the routing is correct. There we go. Like I said, you're going to lose some coolant. You're going to need some probably towels and some rags and stuff. And do your best to keep these hoses up. Now, when you pull these off, there is, you have to clean to get a razor. I prefer a razor. Unfortunately, can't find them. Had them. Kids mess with my stuff all the time. So, take off the one here in the back now. That back there. There's the second one. Like I said, I always put them up here on my cowl. There it is. Try to set this back here where I can use both hands. Pull that out. Y'all can see this. Pull that off. There it goes. Yeah, there goes the rest of it out of the bottom. Now, honestly, I probably should be measuring this. So now that I've got this thermostat housing off here, just kind of sit on the ground here, make it a little bit easier. Already broken these bolts right here. Sorry, it's getting late in the day once again. So done loosen these up. Got one on either side. This is for the primary thermostat. One, two, and that's it. That should pop right out like that. Honestly, I can't tell if it's failed or not. It still looks really new, but well, here it is. Got the new one here. Fortunately, I didn't get this one from AutoZone. Daughter got it. Apparently, she said AutoZone was apparently didn't have hers in stock. I want to make sure there's nothing really kind of built up in here, that it sits up in there flat. Sorry, I'm doing this one hand turning at an angle. Try to use my leg here. There's a set. Yeah, I may have to pause and try to get it up real close here. Try to get that in there. Damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry. Had to put it down so I could put this all together off camera so I could tighten it down. Alright, you want to make sure these are good and snug. You should see a torque spec pop up any second now. Use my foot to hold it down so I can tighten it up a little bit more. So, hold on. Alright guys, we're back the next day to finish installing this thermostat housing. One thing I forgot to mention last night when I was doing this, because I had to stop, had a couple things, so I had to continue it the next day. It started getting dark. So anyway, I've got the primary thermostat in here. Already installed it. One thing I forgot to mention, if you're looking at the thermostat when it's in here, you want that hose when you install it back, because if you install it the other way, it's going to angle out. You want the hose here where you put your hose on to angle in that way towards the middle part of the car. And then also on that thermostat, it's kind of like the secondary up here, it has a little tab on the thermostat itself, the little rubber tab, and it goes into this indentation here. It's the same thing on the bigger one that's down in here. Wait, there we go, down in here. You want to make sure you get it in there and then kind of just push it in there. You should be good. See it, it's off center. It's just kind of the way it's made, way it goes into the block. So also when you put that in there, that should sit in there perfectly into how that is right there. So I recommend really a razor blade too. Once again, got a vehicle coming by. Hold on 1 sec. Sorry about that. All right, I recommend taking a razor blade, but I'm going to use a little flathead here to lightly scrape around this area here. Really already pretty clean. I may not even scrape it, but if you end up having to, because there'll probably be some residue from this right here and around this, if you want to, go ahead and get this off around here too. That is kind of dirty. You want to make sure it gets, but you don't want to gouge the motor at all. Do not gouge the motor. I've also got some brake parts cleaner. I'll kind of spray down on here and wipe off. But I'm just lightly doing this, very lightly. I'll go get a rag real quick. I'm gonna pause, go get some brake cleaner and a rag, and wipe that down, wipe all this off, kind of clean it up. So give me 1 second. All right, so I got my brake parts cleaner here. This ain't gonna hurt your system or nothing. Stuff dries up pretty fast. Probably shouldn't be using a cloth one, but it ain't gonna hurt really much anything. All right, now, oh, did forget one thing. One thing I was having trouble yesterday is this rubber seal. I'll show you here in a second once I kind of wipe it down. The port inlet. Pick that up. That right there had a rubber seal on it, and the parts store was saying for me to get that little rubber seal that went around there, I had to buy the whole thermostat housing again, just for that little rubber O-ring. So, unfortunately, I kind of misplaced the old one. I went to Lowe's and got another one here, literally a square washer, a square cut washer, 1.5 inch from Lowe's for less than $3. So I also went and grabbed some gasket sealer here, blue gasket sealer. It says, is this coolant? Oh, da 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 da. So I'm gonna put that right around this ring here. We'll kind of rub it up in there, and then put the O-ring on there. Kind of as a good seal in there. So let me get this camera readjusted, and get it going. All right, open this up. Probably don't really need to open the whole thing like I just ended up doing. Got a handy dandy glove on here. I can take it like that and just go around it. And then what I'll do also, once I put the O-ring on, just kind of spin the O-ring around and have it work, make sure it's worked in every crevice there. There we go. Just gonna spin. Good. All right. Now we grab the thermostat housing. Now, in the video, that you also see, I just flushed the heater core and stuff as well. And I keep reiterating the fact, turn on my light here. Keep reiterating the fact to make sure you remember which hose went where. So, I know you can't really see it up under there, but that says up under that hose clamp. That's going to be on the upper part of the thermostat housing. The other one I got here goes on the lower part of the thermostat housing. I'm going to readjust here and pull these hose clamps back and pop this thermostat housing in, and then we'll get these hose clamps on there. So, all right. Sorry about the angles, y'all. Like I said, we're working with a camera. All right. Got it here. Boom. We'll make sure you pop this down here on the bottom one. I just put that O-ring at on. Go ahead and put your middle one in. Middle bolt. There we go. Yeah. Remember, it's a 10mm bolt. I'm just going to put it in there a little hand tight right now. Alright, see, I got it just snug in there against the motor block. That way, if it needs to pivot a little bit while I put these other bolts in. So, I'm going to put this one in the back here. make sure you do not cross thread these as well, which is what I'm trying to do at this moment. There we go. Sorry, knocked the angle off there. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one down because the one in the front should line up perfectly. Make sure, just in case. There we go. Now, if you want to go and turn that for future use, you can, which I'm going to try to right now. There we go. That's simultaneously messing up my lighting source. There we go. All right. Now for the upper hose. So that's on. Oh, there you go. Now we're going to get readjusted to show you the front hoses. Get this air filter breather back on. Get my daughter on down the road because she's trying to do some shopping today. So, be right back. Alright, first I'm going to install the lower radiator hose. As you see, it comes down here. Sorry, I've got a camera person right now, so make this a little bit quicker. Open the hose clamp up here. Hold that back. Hold that open and you want that to go up as far as you can. It's going to take some effort, that's for sure. There we go. And we're on. Now, upper radiator hose, which there's another video for. Should be popping up any second for the link. This one should be a little bit easier. There we go. Right there in the middle. Don't forget your connection here. Good. Deck stable. Now, pretty much the last thing to put in is the air filter breather. It's right here. These little tabs right here. On this right here. First, that there. If you'll get down in here for me. Push down, pop in there. That's it. Then 2mm bolt here. Just tighten that down. You don't want to over tighten it. Hand tight. And the little tab here. Go right here. Hold them. Last thing to put in, what they call the snorkel. You got this, goes right routes in through here. I got it the wrong way, that's my fault. There we go. Now, should slide right on there because it's loose from taking it off. You want to make sure you get it all the way on there. I'm just going to use a flathead to tighten this up. You can use an 8mm socket if you want. Stick a little flathead down in there. Sorry, I know. Come over here. see if I can get down in there. There we go. Right down in there. Take that back over. Last little bit here. Well, tightening that. And then connection here just plugs in. And all you got to do from here is go ahead and fill up and hook up your reservoir hose back. So let's get that on there nice and tight. I'm gonna fill this back up. Like I said, I had two concentrate jug, or one concentrate jug. I split it into two 50/50s. So we're gonna fill this back up all the way. Make sure it comes up on the radiator, upper radiator hose video I did. It should tell you that this system should not need to be burped. Everything should be burped the way they've got it set up. All it should burp back up through the coolant tank over here. So I appreciate it, y'all. I'm sweating like a pig. If you like the video, give it a subscribe, a like, and I hope the next time see y'all. Love y'all. Be easy. Just as a quick update, the O-ring I ended up buying at Lowe's ended up tearing as I put that on, ended up leaking afterwards. So the old ring, while worn out, I was able to reuse, but I got the red RTV sealant, and in the ring itself, on the inner part where my nose is, so I'm holding my phone at the moment, I put RTV sealant in it, then put it back over the loop on the engine block, the groove that it went on. Then put a little bit of RTV sealant, the red RTV sealant, around the outer part of it, and then put the thermostat housing itself back on. I did this all the next day because as we got it back together and we put coolant in it, we realized it was leaking from that spot. And the reason why is because it was one of them O-rings that was, you either had to buy with the housing assembly and everything together, which was $160, or I had to go try at the Lowe's, try to fit one on that. It was 1.5 inches originally, I showed y'all in the video. I'd recommend, if you end up having to get another O-ring, to get 1.25 inch O-ring square cut. So we'll make that again, an 1.25 inch O-ring square cut, and then that'll be able to fit around there a little bit tighter. The 1.5 inch would just end up being a little bit loose. It went around it, but not tight enough to where it wouldn't be broken as I put the thermostat housing back on. So we're going to end it again here. Thank you. Most of these people that are watching y'all, I noticed y'all haven't been subscribed. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed, liked. I'm trying to do my best to make this grow. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time.